In this video, we are going to talk about the Magentic One by Microsoft. It is a groundbreaking multi-agent AI system that is designed to tackle problems that no single bot could handle alone. From scraping the web and analyzing data to automating business workflows and even coordinating massive simulations, it is redefining what AI can do. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can install the Magentic One locally on your system, and then we are going to test it out together. Alright, so let's get started. Right now, I am in the official GitHub repo of the Magentic One, which is inside the AutoGen repository. If you scroll down, it has an interface along with the example codes which you can test. Here is the architecture that you provided, the task which goes to the orchestrator that has a task ledger, a progress ledger, and on the basis of all of these ledgers, if the task is completed, then the final answer is provided to the user. And below that, they have a wide variety of different agents like a coder agent, computer terminal, web server, and file server. On the basis of it goes to different websites on the browsers and fetch the information for us. So let's quickly see how you can install it. If you scroll down, it has provided you all the different steps to install it. But firstly, you need to make sure that you have Docker installed and configured on your system. And if you don't have Docker, then you can simply go to install Docker Desktop either for the Windows or Linux, and you can follow the instructions to download it. So now in order to install the Magentic One on our system, I have opened a new terminal window, and firstly we are going to clone the repository for the AutoGen. And for that I'm going to run the command git clone and then provide the path for the AutoGen repository. Once the cloning is done, now we are going to move towards the AutoGen folder using the command cd AutoGen, and then inside the AutoGen folder we also have a folder called Python, so we are going to move inside that too. Then for the next step, you need to have the UV package installer. If you already have it, that's great, but if you don't have it, you can install it using the command pip install and then provide the name of your package installer, which is UV. And it is going to download and install the package for you. Once you have the UV package installer downloaded, now we are going to move towards the next step, which is to sync everything using the UV. For that, we are going to run the command UV sync and then use the flag for all extras. It is going to download and install everything which is needed for the AutoGen package. Next, we are going to go ahead and activate the source virtual environment which is needed for the AutoGen. So we are going to use source, and this is going to be the path of our virtual environment which we want to activate. And once we are inside the virtual environment, now we are all set to install the Magentic One from the source. So for that, we are going to run the command cd packages. Firstly, we are going to go inside the packages folder which is present inside Python. And then inside the packages folder, we have a folder called AutoGen Magentic One. So we're going to move inside that too. And in order to install the Magentic One from the source, we are going to run a simple command which is pip install -e, and then you have to provide a full stop or a dot after it to download everything. Once you do that, you will see that it will obtain the AutoGen Magentic One file and is going to download everything which is needed for it. Next, we need to set 3 different environment variables. The first one is going to be for the chat completions. That chat completion will be performed using which model. Here I'm going to use the OpenAI. So for that, I'm going to use the command export, and then the environment variable is going to be chat completion provider, which is OpenAI, and it is going to set the environment variable value as OpenAI. Next, I want to set the value for the OpenAI API key. So head to your OpenAI account, create a key, and then provide it here, and it will be saved inside the OpenAI API key as an environment variable. Next, we also need to set the model from the OpenAI which we want to use. So here I actually want to use the GPT-4o model. So you have to create the environment variable for the model, and inside which you have to provide your model name. I'm going to use the GPT-4o, so I have provided that. If you want to use any other version for the models, you can do that too and simply hit enter. Once you do that, all of your environment variables will be configured. As I've already told you that the Magentic One uses different type of browsers to interact with different websites and URLs. And in order to interact with the browsers, it uses Playwright. So we need to have Playwright installed and configured. So we are going to use the Playwright to install the browser. For that, we are going to run the command Playwright install, and we are going to install the Chromium. Once you do that, it is going to download and install a bunch of things. And once all of this is done, now the only thing that is left is to actually go inside the examples folder. So we are going to run the command cd examples, and inside the examples folder, let me quickly show you. We have these 5 Python files for the example.py, examplecoder.py, the file server, user proxy, and the web server, and these are the different agents which are running on the background for the Magentic one that fetches response for our prompts. Now I'm gonna go ahead and run the examples to see if the Magentic one has been successfully installed or not. So in order to do that, you have to run the command python example.py. This is the name of the file which we want to run. Then I wanted to store the logs. The logs directory is gonna be by the name logs. I am enabling the human in loop mode, and I also want to save the screenshots inside the same directory. Once you have completed the command, simply hit enter and it will show you the option to insert the user input. This is the place where you will enter your prompt. But before entering the prompt, I'm gonna change the screen settings so that I have my terminal on one side and the logs directly on the other side to view all the screenshots which are being generated when each step is performed by the orchestrator. So here on the left hand side, we have our terminal where we will run the commands, and on the right hand side, I've opened the logs directory where I'll view all the logs and the screenshots of all the steps. So firstly, I want to test out if it is able to fetch information about any famous personality or not. So for that, I'm gonna provide it the prompt that finds some information about the Bill Gates' latest philanthropic project and summarize it in 2 sentences. Once you do that, simply hit enter and you will see that it will start processing. Firstly, it is fetching all the different sects and it has started providing us the screenshots. So let's quickly see the first screenshot. You can see that it has opened the Bing and is viewing all the different components. Then we have a screenshot number 2. Here it is identifying the search bar in order to run the prompt. So it has reached the search bar and is searching for the personality. Here you can see that it has accessed Wikipedia gatesnote.com to get information about Bill Gates. Here it has fetched some information from those links. So here is the final answer provided by the orchestrator that the latest philanthropic project by Bill Gates involves the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation commitment of $100 million over 4 years to enhance economic mobility in the US. And this was the last screenshot which was generated by it. So if you take a look at it, you can see that it searched the Bill Gates' latest philanthropic project in the Bing, which provided this information which it has fetched and provided to us as the final answer. So that's really cool that in addition to providing us the answer to our prompt, it is also providing us a screenshot of the different steps that it is performing in the browser. Next, I want to see if it is able to perform simple web scraping on any of the website and fetch relevant information. So for that, firstly, we are once again going to run the example.py file and I'm going to use the same flags. Then once you run it, it will ask for your prompt. So here I actually wanted to go to Amazon site, and from all of these laptops, I wanted to look for the price of a specific laptop, which is this one having the price $13.99. And if I scroll down and show you the page, you can see that it is present on page number 7. So now I'm gonna head to my terminal and I'm gonna provide it the prompt that go to Amazon.com and provide the features and price of this laptop. And here I've provided it the name and the specification of the laptop. So let's see if it can provide us the price and features or not. So it has started the user proxy and here is the plan. So it is going to perform all of these steps in order to fetch the information. We have got our first 2 screenshots. For that, it is actually going to Bing and looking for the search bar. Then we have another screenshot here. It has actually went to the Amazon. This is all the data which is present on the Amazon web page. We have got a few other screenshots. Let's see this one. Here it is looking for all the different objects which are present on it, and it is going to look for the search bar in order to look for the laptop. So this is the latest one. It has placed the laptop name on the search bar and you can see that the first one is the laptop which we asked it to find and provide us the price. So here, after performing all of these steps, it has provided us the final answer that this laptop is listed at $1399.99 on Amazon, and these are all the features of the laptop. Amazing. And the best part was all of these screenshots. You can easily see that it is performing which step and then how it reached to the conclusion. Firstly, it opened Bing, then it searched for the search bar and in the search bar typed Amazon. Then once it was inside the Amazon, it went and looked for the search bar of the Amazon and then inside the search bar placed the laptop model which we asked it to find and provided us the correct information about the correct laptop. So now for the last example, I want to test out if this agent is able to go to the YouTube, look for a specific video on a specific channel, watch the video for a few minutes or a few seconds and then provide a summary on the basis of that time duration which it has watched the video. So once again, firstly, I'm gonna run the example.py file, keeping all the flags same. And then for the prompt, I'm gonna provide it that go to youtube.com. This is actually the URL for the YouTube video. Then I'm gonna ask it to watch the video for a minute or two, understand what the video is about and what will be done in the video, and then provide the video summary. Let's run it. Okay, so here is the plan. And it has started providing us the screenshot, which will be the same that it will go to Bing and look for the search bar from all the components. Then after looking for the search bar, it has pasted the YouTube video URL, which has redirected it to this page. Then we have a few other screenshots to see what is happening. Okay, there is an ad for which it has to click on dismiss. So it is identifying that. And yeah, it has managed to play the video. So it is looking at the video. And we have another screenshots. Let's take a look at it. It is viewing the video and I can't really see the duration for which it has watched the video. It is fetching all the information which is present on the page. We have a new screenshot, so let's view it. Okay, so it is viewing the different parts of our video. It has started fetching information about the video. And we have the final answer. So it says that the video is a tutorial on creating an interactive dashboard web app using ChatGPT-4, Python and Streamlit. It is absolutely correct. It explains how to set up your environment, select a dataset, build the dashboard structure, and integrate OpenAI API to enable question answer features. The goal is to guide users in developing a functional dashboard with filters and visualizations. Wow, that is amazing. I wasn't expecting it to fetch all of this information, as I thought that it was not able to actually go and view the YouTube video on its own, but it actually did that and has provided us absolutely correct information about what the video is all about and what is actually happening inside the video. Amazing. As you can already tell that I am highly impressed by this amazing new agent from the Microsoft, and I'll highly encourage all of you to try it out for yourselves and let me know in the comments what you think about it. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.